if I get sprayed, it's better because I'm the one who knocked it over.
That, and you also have a change of clothes.
Other solid point. Yes, I do have a change of clothes. All right, we're going to just tap right into the beer of the week.
Yeah, back to our sponsor, our unsponsored sponsor.
How many different flavors? You probably said this. How many different flavors do they have?
They have a lot. They have probably over 10, 15. I have the app. I could scroll through very quickly. This is their other IPA. This is their Free Wave Hazy IPA from Athletic Brewing Co. And
Get that sound effect.
there you go. Really curious your thoughts on this one.
It smells good.
Yeah.
But before I even try it, this is a, what is it? Hazy IPA?
Yep.
I do like my IPAs.
I know.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely like a watered down IPA.
It's interesting that you say that because, so I like the other IPA better, just the regular plain IPA.
Yep.
My brother said he liked this one first, but part of me is like, this is their one beer that tastes not the least like beer,
Yeah.
but the one I could tell is non-alcoholic.
Because when you have an IPA, you're expecting it to have a little bit of that bitter.
Yeah.
And it's there, but it basically just tastes like a watered down IPA.
So it's like, is it the hazy hops they're trying to get to? I don't know, but
Either way, though, I mean,
still don't hate it.
I still don't hate it. Now we are officially into April. I successfully did 3 months.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for you.
Just got to get to April 9th is 100 days, and then from there, who knows?
That'll be this weekend, right?
Yeah, sometime next week.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm telling you is, for WrestleMania, I will not be drinking.
I mean, I'll be cracking open some athletics.
That's true. I can have one of those.
Yeah, like I have this. I have the golden, and I have some lights. That I told you, Jessica's a big fan of those.
The lights.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I do like it. I have to go on their website and see what else they have.
Yeah,
but
I have the app on my phone.
yeah, let's check out because I mean I've tried like 3 or 4 at this point,
and I think they'll do like I think they might have a check in here. Oh, they do. Introducing Track Record. It's all about how you want to give dry a try. So there you go. You can put all your stuff in. That's funny. And you track all your beers. I didn't realize they had that. That's pretty cool. So let's see here. I'm going into the shop now. They have that's not what I wanted. Come on. They have an Irish Red.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. Now, have you seen all these in stores?
I've seen all these ones that I've got from this beer store right near me. The Bush NA was not there when I went. I almost went.
Man.
I looked for it. It was not there.
I'm gonna have to leave a reminder. Oh, we're not doing this next week.
I don't know yet.
We still don't know.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I think
we'll get on it. You know.
I know.
People got to let you know. You have to plan your life.
I'm supposed to schedule travel 2 weeks before, but they're the ones making whatever. So I think yes, I'm pretty sure. I think I'll be unavailable, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Worst case, I will try to look at my local store to see if they have the Bush.
Yeah. Well, they have a limited brew called Trailblazer, Hoppy Hells with layers of citrus and florals. So that looks like a pretty good one. How do I shop? Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Brews. Oh my god. A lot of pages opened up.
Oh no.
So
we have to reach out to these guys.
Yep. Run Wild.
If there's one sponsor of this show that we need,
I know it's these guys.
Athletic Brewing Company.
Run Wild is our IPA, my favorite. Upside Dawn, Athletic Light, Free Wave, which we're having now.
Yep.
Cerveza El Atletica, which I think we had a few weeks ago. I think that was the summer one, the summerish one.
That was like the Cerveza, like the Mexican version.
All Out. I don't think I've had that one. I don't know what that is. It's a stout. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Yeah.
I mean, Guinness has an NA too. I feel like it's not going to be good.
And I can't do them in a bottle or a can. It's weird.
Now, are they just cans, Athletic?
I've only seen them in cans.
Yeah.
Ripe Pursuit. Some of these are online only. Witt's Peak, First Ride. Ooh, a Marinberry Sour. I don't like sours. Spiced Hot Chocolate. That's interesting. Cool for the spring. So, yeah, they got a lot of online only orders. So, there's a lot.
We got to try them all.
Yeah.
Even the stout.
A powerful punch of West Coast and New Zealand hops. Cool for springers are a light bolded, crisp take on a supremely refreshing cold IPA. Yeah, so they got a ton. Dang, I gotta buy some online. But I have not seen those like in the store for sure.
Can you buy online?
These ones you can, yeah. But I
that's right, because in NA.
That was the thing, because someone said to me that you couldn't buy certain alcohol online, and I was thinking, I bought those Stone Cold IPAs years ago. They shipped them.
I know, but there was something with that. Like, wasn't there like...
Yeah, and people do wine and stuff, but this was a couple of years ago I bought still Steve Austin ones.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know how that worked, because there was at one point you couldn't ship alcohol to Rhode Island. I thought that was like a thing.
I thought so too, but I did it.
Maybe COVID changed things? I don't know.
That might be it, because that was the thing. I don't think you could have it. You couldn't pick it up from the restaurants, and then they started allowing that. So maybe that's it. Maybe you're right.
See?
Well, it's also not. Wait, no, that can't be it, because I got Steve Austin before. It was before COVID.
It was before COVID. I didn't.
No idea.
Maybe they snuck.
Maybe I broke the law. They were too afraid to say no to Steve Austin or something. I don't know.
They're like, all right, we'll just let him have it.
Yeah. So we should I'm gonna make a list. I'm gonna start checking off the ones we've tried, and then I can get like a variety pack online or something.
Yeah, we gotta do the rankings. We gotta do the bracket.
Yeah.
The NA bracket.
Yeah.
I don't know. The last IPA was good. This one is good. It just, you can tell it's an
if
NA.
it was a bracket, it would not. I don't think it'd make it past the first round for me.
Probably not.
I still enjoy it though.
I think I'm trying to think of the worst one I had. I think honestly the Corona might be the worst one I had.
I'm gonna have to, yeah.
Because they have their low calorie one, which is they have a Corona, they have a Corona Light, they have Corona Premier, which is like 90 calories, which outside of like Corona Light, they just the Corona Premier and then the NA are terrible. Okay. So,
I did not love the NA. I mean, I think we have it on this program. I did not love it.
I didn't.
And I don't know if it was skunked or if it was if it was just the NA part of it. I don't know.
It might have been skunked.
They're like new. They're brand new. But that was the worst part. Is like that's why you stop drinking Coronas, because you never, luck of the draw 90% of the time.
I know. Now you just switch to Modelo, and that's the way to go. I think Bud Zero is still ranks pretty high with me.
Yeah, I would take a Bud Zero, I think, over this one.
Probably. Yeah. I think Bud Zero beats out this one. But Athletic, I mean, they're cornering the market.
Yeah, it's awesome. Good on them. And this one's 70 calories, a little bit more.
Our future sponsor.
Yeah. Well,
Athletic Brewing.
I keep saying I'm going to email them, but I haven't done it yet.
Well, now we have an email set up. I don't know if we announced it last time.
We did not.
It is. I have it. Mm-hmm. Is it
the MOJO Show?
It's the MOJO Show. One.
The number one.
Numeric one. Put your ones up.
Arabic one.
At Gmail.
At gmail.com.
Commercial.
Yep.
Just com. But that's what it stands for. Com stands for commercial.
We did not get a .gov or a .org email.
No, not even a .net. We went straight for the .com. We went to the tippity top. So, email us.
Yep. Anything.
And anything. Well,
sports.
Anything sports related.
Yeah. Other stuff. I mean, I'll read it. Probably won't read it on air though.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, I like to get other people's thoughts and opinions and how they feel about our thoughts and opinions, if we're wrong or right about everything.
You're entitled to your opinion, as wrong as it may be.
Exactly.
One of the best teachers we've ever had.
Yeah.
Quoted that. Quote me on the quote, unquote.
Nice. Yep.
All right. So we talked earlier about the news that we had coming into today.
Yeah.
And I said, I have literally nothing. You actually had some stuff to offer.
Yeah. I mean, it's still the worst time of the year.
Absolutely.
We're in the thick of it. It's the worst time of the year.
But we're starting. So actually tomorrow is the official start of the season, 2024 NFL season.
Yep. Okay.
I guess that's something.
Yeah.
We're in April, so we're in draft month.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know on Reddit so if you're a fan of the Chiefs, they get the little Super Bowl next to their like logo as they comment. But starting tomorrow, it'll be gone since everyone starts fresh. Starts fresh.
It's a very limited time that you get that privilege.
Yeah, I know, right? Sheesh. That news actually hit the airwaves. I don't know if you saw that news about Rice. They're like,
I did, but I don't know the details behind it.
I mean, from what I saw the dash cam footage, and if he was the one in the Lambo, he was street racing with someone and caused a very big collision.
It was in Dallas, right?
I think so, yeah.
Or I saw they were looking for him in Dallas. I don't know where it took place.
Yeah, true. Could have been outside, yeah. But it was nasty. nasty. They always have winners over there in Kansas City. I mean, we had a murderer, so I can't really say it.
I know.
But Andy Reid runs a little bit of an asylum. They always have stuff going on over there.
I know you can't say much when you had AH on your team. One thing I did think it was funny the other day. It's not really notable, but I just thought it was cute. Mm-hmm. The Cowgirls and Zeke are open to a reunion.
Right. Yeah, that's so.
How cute.
Yeah.
But who did they just get? I mean, Pollard's gone.
They lost Pollard. Did they?
But they got somebody. Oh, my God.
All those running backs, they all just changed socks.
That's just ridiculous.
That's all they did. It was like a wild merry-go-round of running backs just swapping teams.
Yeah.
Did they get Aaron Jones? I don't know. Is that who they got? It was such a crazy.
I know. They did get somebody.
Veteran running back. Pollard went to what, Tennessee?
Yes.
That's weird. So strange.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find it.
No, the other thing, too, is they're not, Kirk Cousins got this insane deal, but Dak can't get an extension, which I think is odd.
He has double the playoff wins that Kirk has.
Yeah.
Which is 2. Did I send you that thing the other day about Brady versus Kirk?
Yeah,
oh my God.
A guy said was like GOAT agent. Yeah.
Which I understand that now the salary cap went up like $330 million this year, and it's probably going up in the last couple of years. Brady hasn't been there, but for the most part, it's been fairly similar quarterback market, and he played way longer than Kirk.
I think he's going to make more money in his Fox deal than he did his entire career as a football player,
which is crazy. But he also, what you're seeing with Mahomes too, restructured a lot to get which I'm sure that they make up for it on the back end.
Yeah, I mean when they do that, when they restructure, they usually turn it in a lot of it into a bonus or so they just get the money, they just get it now.
Yeah,
they just move it around and then they like layer it out over years.
They just finagle it.
Yeah,
somehow.
the cap is. I mean, there is a cap. It's not like the cap. I've always ordered in the NFL. Is the cap is crap. Like you can make it work. Like there's money there. Yes, you have to pay the money. You have a floor. You have to pay a certain amount over 3 years, I think. But you can make the money work. I mean, we've seen the Saints. They've been negative $1 billion for like 10 years now. They just kick the can down the road.
It's gonna be funny with Dallas though, because they're gonna have to figure out what to do with Dak.
Yeah.
The big question is, do you think you can get better than what you have right now? Is Dak like a premier quarterback in this league?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. Was it last week or the week before? We kind of listed the top 10, and he was in there.
So that's the risk here. Is the market is are we going to get better or are we going to blow it up?
Right.
But I think you got pieces like CD and
maybe they'll draft us. Maybe they sneaky will draft a quarterback kind of early, second round maybe.
Well, maybe I mean, maybe they go for Bo Nix.
Maybe.
Or Michael Penix.
Yep. Or McCarthy, who I'm pretty sure is going to be in the second round. I don't believe any of this crap I'm reading. Last week it was the Commanders are all on him. Now this week it's, he's not going to get past 3 with the Patriots. Like, shut up.
The Patriots are going to take
whoever's left
between Jaden and May. To say that JJ's going to go up that high. Now, what I do think, and we talked about, I think that the Vikings could try to trade up to make sure they get one of these guys. And JJ could be that number 4.
I just wonder, if you're the Vikings or the Giants, why not just wait? Because the Vikings have a 20-something pick. Just use that on him. Because who else is going to take him? Maybe the Giants? Maybe.
Where does Denver fall? Draft order. Because they're the other one.
It's a good question. Did they trade their pick to the Seahawks?
I just need to leave this as my home screen.
Right? But didn't they trade it to the Seahawks for something?
I thought they had
Russell Wilson, or maybe they do have it. I don't know.
Interessante. Let's see. Sorry.
No, you're good.
They are at 12. So the Vikings are at 11.
Okay.
So realistically, to your point, if they're at 11, Chicago, Washington, New England likely are all going quarterbacks, and you know who's going to be left.
Yeah.
Probably. The Cardinals, likely, if they stay, which I think if they move back, they're going to run the risk of not getting a top wideout, and I think they need one. They can't fall too far back. So say Marvin Harrison Jr., right? Say the Chargers go with Joe Alt. The Giants say they go with Malik Neighbors, right? Titans.
Who's also sweet. Some people have him higher, I think, than Marvin Harrison.
That's going to be the interesting thing. Yeah. So I think, but I don't think he makes it out. Yeah. The Giants and Cardinals, they need a wideout.
Yeah. Like maybe if they want to make that one last push with Daniel Jones, get a wide out for him. Because has he ever really had we talked about Mac Jones before, but has he ever had a number one wide receiver?
Oh, Daniel Jones?
Yeah. Like Odell's gone.
OBJ was he
or at the end or injured or whatever.
If he had him for a year, maybe.
They had Waller last year, but no, they trade. Yeah, they had Waller.
They really haven't had a true number one.
Right.
So you know that they're going to go and get a guy like that. Tennessee's going to be an interesting pick at 7 because you have Will Levi-Jeans.
Yep.
You have Malik, but you also have a whole new staff. They might not want either of those guys.
That is true.
But you get 2 guys on rookie deals.
Yeah.
Maybe you got to build in some pieces.
If they take another quarterback in the first 3 rounds, 3 years in a row, that reminds me of when the Lions kept taking wide receivers every year in the first round. Yeah. Charles Rogers. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I think 3 years in a row they took a wide receiver in the first round. That Mike Millen GM masterclass.
But then at 8 you got the Falcons who just got Kirk. Chicago's got 9 who they're going to get Caleb most likely. Then you have the Jets, which I don't think the Jets are going to waste their number 10 pick.
I can see them going. No, because they're all in. They are all in on Rodgers, so they're going to. My guess is they're going to be all in on that. They'll probably grab a guy in the 3rd round or something.
I could see that. And then you got Minnesota right at 11 ahead of Denver. So maybe if they sit, they could probably just get JJ at 11.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to.
And Minnesota has another one in the 20s, so if they're willing to risk it for the biscuit, maybe they take Penix.
Honestly, this is where you're going to see. So you see 1, 2, and 3 going to likely be quarterbacks. 11, 12, and 13 is Minnesota, Denver, and Vegas.
That's pretty funny.
So you could see
another run of quarterbacks.
Run of quarterbacks, which would be 6 because then everybody after that, for the most part, you're going to assume they're not going to go with a quarterback.
My guess is whoever, if those 5 are gone, Bo Nix is, in my head, he's the one that falls. He'll probably fall into the 2nd round. I think Penix is too, so I don't know. It's going to get tricky. It's going to be a battle of wills. And some teams I think will trade back to get more and then be like, okay, we'll trade into the 20s and then we'll take the quarterback. So,
and they could. Outside of that.
Because other people are going to want to jump up into those spots. So if they're like, hey, we're willing to wait 10 picks to get our quarterback, let someone give me a call and make a trade and come get a cornerback you really want. So,
could happen. From what I've heard, all the rumors, but from what I heard is the calls that Washington got, they were not pleased.
No.
It wasn't enough.
No.
Obviously, it's going to get worse as it gets closer, but I mean, I've seen everything from a trade up to a trade back to a JJ. They're taking every quarterback.
The JJ stuff is it's driving me insane because the exact same thing happened with Will Levi-Jeans last year. I don't know if you remember, but randomly at one point, the numbers skyrocket. The betting odds went crazy with him getting drafted 2nd overall, and the money was moving like crazy.
And he dropped.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He jumped to the 2nd, 3rd round, and people were like, oh, my God, what does someone know? They didn't know anything. And someone made a lot of money on that shenanigans. But someone, and it's funny because I messaged it to my chat, and I started looking up for something. That in the chat, I looked in the search bar to be like, oh, when did we talk about this for? And it was literally last April, and I said the exact same thing. Remember when the betting odds flew? So, shenanigans. Sick of it.
You know what was funny, though? I started watching highlights on those guys, because obviously I think Washington's going to go with Drake or they're going to go with Jaden, assuming Caleb's off the board.
Yep.
But I started watching, let me just see the JJ. There's some shit going on here. First comment I read after I watched some highlights was exactly what I was thinking. Zach Wilson 2.0.
Oh. He won, but he handed the ball off and his defense was really good. He never really was asked to throw the ball in college. It's just weird. The only good thing about him is he's young. He's 21, so you could potentially grow. Same with Drake May. He's young. He's young. Jaden Daniels is already 24. So by the time his 2nd contract shows up, he's going to be 28? By the time Drake May's 2nd contract shows up, he'll be 25, 26.
Right.
Much different.
It is different. I mean, for a quarterback standpoint, you never know. But
yeah, true.
And they said their pro days, they were good.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Drake May threw it 70 times. 3 balls hit the ground. He was great. He had to get whatever. It's all the same thing.
I really, honestly, though, as much as we hate this, it is a little bit fun because we're going to do a live that night, a draft night. And it's like, we have the 2nd pick, you have the 3rd pick. Like, there is a lot of stake here.
If we weren't 2-3, this would be the worst. If we were like 15 and 18, it'd be so bad. But because we're both literally 2 and 3, and this is where all this, like, literally last year, this commander's going to take him this week. We're going to take, it's hilarious.
It's funnier being 2 and 3 than 1 and 2 because you know what the Bears are doing, especially when they traded Fields. So if one of us was at that top spot, be like, well, we know.
Boring. Yeah, exactly.
We're going to go with Caleb probably.
And if you listen back to last week's episode, the very first thing we talked about is how you said, I just saw the news about McCarthy. Now this week, I just saw the news about it. It's like, what the hell? Who's pumping his? I don't know who's pumping him up.
In my head, and I really don't know, but in my head, based on Kingsbury and what they say about Jade, my guess would be Washington would take the shot at Jaden just because of the potential upside while they're building the rest of the roster and say, if he's a bust, fuck it.
He sells tickets. Tickets.
That's the other thing.
He's electric. Heisman winner.
Josh Harris has got a lot of money to make up again. Yeah. He spent $6 billion.
If it was Snyder, I can see them taking Jaden Daniels 110%. This guy, I'm not so sure, but I can see him trying to, make money, sell a new stadium. And this is a question I proposed to you through text message was, would you rather draft a quarterback at 2 and he becomes a bust, or would you rather pass on the quarterback and watch him become an all-pro for someone else?
Well, Washington's done that multiple times, I'm pretty sure. I think they passed on somebody. I mean, they passed on a bunch a few years ago. Yeah. Guys that actually like panned out, like Tua. I think that was he the Joe B year?
I think so, yeah.
2020?
Yeah.
I mean, we had the number 2 pick, so whatever quarterbacks fell after that.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
They've gone on to do well. And I didn't want Tua at the time because I think he had like a hip injury or something coming out of college.
I still don't want him.
And I was like, I don't know about that. Yep. We have gambled on a quarterback. I mean, we moved up. We traded the farm to get RG3.
Yep.
Which I don't know if he was a complete bust. I think his injury in that playoff game, I think, just screwed him. Yeah. So I wouldn't call him a bust. I think that's just like an injury thing. But that's an interesting.
I would rather risk it for the biscuit because then if he goes on to become an all-pro for someone else, you have to watch him be awesome every year. Like how do the Bears fans feel knowing they traded up for Mitch Trubisky and Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes?
Well, I think again. It's a very quarterback-driven league. Yeah. I think you got to take the shot. Yeah. That's why, like Washington and New England, they are not taking a quarterback in this draft. There's you would have to give either one of them like 4 first-round picks, and even then I still don't know because they both need a franchise guy.
It's worth it. Now it's worth to take the risk. Now it sucks if they get drafted and they have no one to throw to and they get killed by the offensive line. But Jacoby Brissett, even if you have the best left tackle in the world and the best wide receivers in the world, is not winning you those Super Bowls. Let's be honest.
No, so you got to take a shot. That's why I think Washington, because they also have 9 picks this year, 6 in the top 100. They're trying to. They've made good free agent signings. I think that they are going to take the risk for the flashy guy with more upside because I think the thought process could be Drake is more of a prototype where they might think. Jaden's kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime sort of talent, like a Lamar or a Mahomes, where not shitting on Drake May, but
he's raw.
There's more. He's raw, so you have to work with him a little bit. But I think he has a bunch of upside, but I think he's more of a prototype, prototypical kind of quarterback.
Yep. And Jaden Daniels is a little bit older. He's 24, so he's more developed, which makes sense. Like that's how time works. And I know I've read on the scouting reports from May is that his footwork's kind of, it's all coachable stuff, but do you want to coach? Like, do you want to just hit the ground running? And I think the Redskins are closer to winning than the Patriots are, especially with their offense.
I would think so. That's going to be an interesting bet next year is who's going to have the better record at the end of the season because I tied on that bet this year.
Especially if they clean up some holes on defense with those 6 top 100 picks, which they could. They can get a good number 2 next to Terry. I don't know I'm not sure. I'm like, I know the Patriots, it's quarterback, left tackle, wide receiver. Those are the 3 biggest holes. Yeah. I don't know about the Redskins.
Quarterback, probably left tackle. Their old line is not great. Wide out, maybe more so tight end. I'd like to see them get a tight end in maybe in the 3rd round, 2nd round, potentially. Yeah. But they do have Dotson. They have Terry. But they are smaller receivers. They're not. They don't have like a big target. Yep. But that's my guess. Thinking about all the rumors and shit, is my gut tells me they're gonna take the shot on a guy like Jaden because he's a different kind of quarterback. Where I think he's got more upside to run the ball And then you got a guy like Cliff
he
Kingsbury.
runs for sure. He ran for like 1,100 yards, which is insane.
And you look at who he coached.
Yeah, that's true.
Mahomes.
Cliff is who I'm. Yeah,
Mahomes, Kyler, Baker.
Yep. Yeah,
guys that will take off.
Scoot. Yeah.
So that would be my guess is you guys will get Drake. We'll get Jaden.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'll be happy either way.
Me too.
I'll be more happy with Drake.
I'm good. I'm good either way. I'm gonna just trust the process here.
Oh yeah, just like they did with the 76ers.
Your favorite basketball team?
Oh God.
Can't. Any other football news?
I watched a little UFL this weekend. Not a ton. I think I watched the first game and the first 2 drives were turnovers, which I thought was funny. But one of the kickers kicked a 64-yarder to win the game. It was his first kick since high school. So I know we talked about it last week, but the USF. I think the biggest thing that's going to come out of this league is the kickers, because the best kicker last year was the Cowboys, who came out of the USFL, never kicked in college.
Yeah.
So they said the Lions already gave that guy a call. So we're going to see what happens, but I think there's going to get some kickers moving into the NFL from there.
Yeah.
But a good, healthy spring league, I think, will be good. The NFL just adopted the kickoff rule that the XFL used, which is funny because the new league, the merger, they decided to go with the USFL kickoff, where they kick it off from the 25. So they don't even use the XFL kickoff anymore, but the NFL just changed to it.
I know. And then what was the other thing? The roughing the passer can get challenged.
Can be reviewed. Yep.
I feel like that's going to be a waste of a challenge. It's going to slow the game down even more. How do you judge it? How are you going to judge?
I know. Some of them are really, really, really bad though. Those are the ones I'm like. So yes, some of them I can see being like, oh, that's 50-50, but some of them are so bad. I'm hoping those are the ones that they fix. You know what they say, like they landed on him with all his weight, and then you watch the replay and the guy's like trying to hold himself up.
But see, then it becomes.
So I need a sky judge.
But then it becomes the opinion of the judge, and
right.
that's what I don't like either, because you called it. Like we had one last year. I forget who it was against. Might have been done against Mac. Mm-hmm. It might have been.
Yeah.
I forget who had the sack, but I'm like, he sacked him clean and bounced off of him.
Yeah.
He didn't like smother him.
Right.
And like, if you could throw the flag on that, what are they going to say?
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know. There's like, how could you have enough evidence to overturn that? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's such an opinion based thing.
And it's interesting too, because inside 2 minutes, are they going to review it themselves? That would be weird. I would hope. I kind of hope. And I don't know. I don't love. I like it. I don't love it.
Do you think that this is a good question. Do you think that the challenges in the league have been a good thing overall or a bad thing?
I think good. Because for the most egregious of,
it eliminates that.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it could be better. I think the fact that they like implemented that new system this year, where sometimes they just overturn it right away. They need more of that. They need a sky judge to make it. It should be faster than it is. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't take as long as it does.
Yeah, and who's New York?
Exactly.
Who is it?
Yeah, it's funny because Dean Blandino was like the head of refereeing, and they're like, "Oh, he's going to be the guy at the center of the replay," and then he left because he's like, "I don't want to do that."
I thought he was still the go-to guy.
I think he does like the Fox like analyst stuff now, and I think he works for the UFL now. A lot less pressure probably.
Well, because he was like the guy that they would bring on to be like, what do you think?
Yes.
And he was right. Like, well, I mean, he was right what the call would stand or get overturned.
He like knows what the refs are thinking about what they're doing. But I think it's been good. I think because can you imagine? I'm trying to think of a big play.
But even in the challenge era, there's been plays that got blown.
I know. It's like that, and it's the same thing in the Premier League. Like they have something called VAR, which is video assistant referee.
Yeah,
and they still fuck it up. But it's so easy. The camera does half the work for you. And like the World Cup had amazing VAR technology. Like stuff was automatic.
Yeah.
And the Premier League refused to adopt it. I don't know why. But it's like it's not the video that's the problem. It's the people doing it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
But it's also too like if I had 2 challenges, right? And this happened against the Chiefs with the Patriots a few years back. He used both their challenges, and then I forget who
it was. Harry,
and he was
yeah
this far inbounds.
Couldn't challenge it,
and you couldn't challenge it. So even even just I obviously you don't want it to get out of hand. Like, I can't challenge every fucking play. I have to be realistic. But what happens is you challenge a couple that you think are like, I could go the other way. And then something that's egregious, and they can't do anything about it. Like,
I think it's like risk reward thing, or it's like if you do allow them to challenge anything and everything, like sure you can, but
right. You have to have some sort of a punishment.
You only get 3, and hopefully they just make it faster. Like I never understood. Like I'm standing here in front of my 55-inch TV. I can see it. Just overturn it. Why does the referee have to run 50 yards to a monitor to stare at a monitor this big?
Yeah.
Well, my TV's like, just overturn it. I can see it. Just overturn it. What are we waiting for?
I will say I'm rarely. I think if you watch football every week, I think you're like rarely shocked if it goes the way you don't think it's going to go. Like you see when it's like a fumble, but his knee was down. Like, oh, but his knee was down. They're going to overturn it. I think when I'm watching it, I'm like, nah, his knee. I could see his knee down.
There was a Patriots game against the Raiders last year, the one where Jacoby threw it backwards and. But before that drive to tie it, the Raiders got a touchdown and they reviewed it, and the guy's foot was very clearly over the line. And they didn't overturn it, and I don't know why.
But that's like a rarity because how many challenges do you see?
It wasn't even the Patriots challenge; it was like inside 2-minute challenge.
But you must see a lot. Like when I watch them, I'm like, I'm rarely shocked.
No, I looked at that. I was like, that should be overturned, and then it wasn't. I'm just like. But why? It makes I could pull up the picture in
irrefutable 2 seconds. Evidence.
Let me pull it up.
Whatever that means.
I know exactly.
It's like they use all these fancy terms, and nobody knows what they actually mean.
Yep. It was so obnoxious. Like I don't understand. Oh God. Here is this it? It's not even the good picture of it. I'll get to it.
Okay, no worries. I mean. That was pretty much the big news. I mean, we got a few weeks left, and we're into the draft.
I know, it's wild. It's like other sports stuff. I did watch baseball. I got to watch with Braden, which was fun. So it was opening day this weekend.
How was the attention span?
It was good. He was into it. He was into it.
It's a slow enough game to where like it's not as confusing.
Yeah, the thing is you got to talk. You got to talk to him because he's like a sponge right now. He just takes in everything, and he does love doing stuff that like Dad wants to do. Like he's out there hitting the balls, and he's just like I'm explaining it to him, and then I loved it because the second baseman dove for the ball, and he was like, "Oh my God, he dove for the ball! He did it like this," and he rolled on the ground.
Yeah.
He loved it. So I don't think we talked about it on baseball here before, but I am a Yankees fan. Hence the hat. I grew up a Yankees fan from my father. Always just assumed. The story I always heard is that my grandfather just liked Joe DiMaggio, and I was like, okay, that's fine. He's Italian. Sure. I get it. Come to find out, a couple of years later ago, my dad told me that my grandfather was actually a Boston Braves fan. So he was a National League fan of the Boston Braves because back then it was like 2 distinct leagues.
Yeah,
it was National League and American League.
Right.
And he was a Boston Braves fan, and he did not like the Red Sox. So like when the Brooklyn Dodgers left Brooklyn, those fans did not become Yankees fans.
Yeah.
They hated the Yankees. Yeah. So I don't know what they did for the time, but then when the Mets came, they became Mets fans.
Right.
So my grandfather was like, I guess he followed the Braves to the day he died in the National League from Milwaukee to Atlanta, which is funny because I used to watch the Braves on TNT or TBS, whatever it was. So he stayed a Yankees fan through my dad. My dad was, and I was growing up. So I've always watched them. It's a bit of a sore point in our house because Jessica's a Red Sox fan. Not that she watches. And I'm a Yankees fan, so we just have that conversation with Braden, and he's like, "Oh, I like the Yankees." He's like, "Mom, do you like the Yankees?" Because he can't conceptualize that she doesn't like them.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to like something that she doesn't like.
Yeah.
He's like, "Do you like them sometimes?"
Well, and I don't know. Yeah, there's like the only time you would like the Yankees if you were a Red Sox fan and vice versa is if you had playoff implications to get in that you needed that team to beat another team.
Sure.
And that's like, how often does that happen?
Right, exactly. So she's like, I enjoy for the Red Sox, I don't care. Back in the day, I hated them. I don't really hate them anymore. I don't care. Like, if they win, it makes friends happy. I'm happy for them. Like, I woke up Jess when they won the World Series in the middle of the night, like, hey, what? They're going to win. I stayed up so she could watch it. And those games went really late.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he liked it. It was opening day. Soto threw a guy out from right field. That was awesome. He was into that.
Yeah.
It was only a couple innings, but he stayed up a little past bedtime, which he liked. It was kind of like that Boy Meets World episode where they kept him playing to watch the Yankees. So he wants, and then the next morning he wanted to watch more. So I put on Soxin 2 on Nesson.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so he watched.
He's
more.
getting double dose.
Yeah. So he enjoyed it. It was fun. I've always continued to follow the Yankees. Even last year, like I always watch part of games or listen on the radio. Like if I was working out, I'd listen on the radio or the app to like the radio broadcast.
Yeah.
I just can't do a full 9 innings.
No, over time, baseball just faded away from me. But when I was younger,
yeah, we were all into it.
I was very into it.
We used to watch the playoffs together. Me, you, and Dan Rock. Shout out Dan Rock.
Shout out Dan Rock. We got invited to the reunion. We didn't.
Oh no, don't remind me. So yeah, we were totally into it, legit. And then, I blame cell phones personally, but the pitch clock is nice. It does move a lot faster. It is nice.
But then there's also the is it the infield shift?
Yeah, they got rid of that.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
it's like part of defensive strategy. There's only so much you can do on defense in baseball. You just eliminated part of it. So you can get more runs.
Pretty much.
It's
and
just
now
stupid.
they can go as far as second base. I don't know. I like offense. So.
I do too. I like defensive strategy. It's like that's part of the game, and it also makes the batter like if you might have to pull the ball.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just bunt it. If there's no one over there, just bunt it every time. You bat 1,000.
Learn how to hit it differently.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird.
Do steroids.
Yep, big proponent of steroids over here. Big proponent.
Juice.
One thing I am looking forward to this. I think is it this summer we'll be able to talk about is the Olympics is this summer, which I totally forgot about.
Oh yay!
Yeah, basketball. They're on there. Gold medal.
Yeah, no, that's
And what they're doing this year on Peacock is they're doing the version of the NFL Red Zone. They're doing a Olympic Zone where the Scott Hansen, the same owner, is going to take you around to all the sports. Do you not get into the Olympics? Do you hate the Olympics?
I don't care.
Sport?
No, I don't care. It's like when people get into like the Winter Olympics. Like
I don't care so much for the Winter Olympics, but like I enjoy the hockey.
If you're gonna watch flag football,
that is true. I would be watching that, but you don't watch the Olympic basketball. I guess it's just Celtics or busts.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I guess it's cool, but like, how cool?
I watched it last time because it was Tatum.
Yeah.
And it was also nice because we were playing at like 6:00 in the morning. I was like, and I was awake. So it was great. But now it's in Paris, so it's going to be somewhat reasonable hours, I think.
I also don't have the channels to watch these programs.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fair.
But I even when I did, I just don't get into the Olympics. I'll pay attention to like, on the ESPN, the news.
Yeah.
But I ain't going to watch it, probably.
All right, well, I'll cover. I'll pick up the slack on that
It's like Redskins football, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
UFC number 2.
Yep.
Maybe I watched some other football games. I did. Doing this whole show has got me back into watching more football because I stopped for historically a while. I am Redskins and I'm out. I need to go live my life. I got shit to do.
Yeah.
And now it's like if they play at 1, I'll watch the 4:30.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll stay at my father's house and I'll maybe catch like the beginning of the 8:30 game. But I definitely watch the 1 and 4:30.
Yeah.
So
a couple of years ago when I was big into fantasy, I was watching everything, and then I slowly started watching less and less and less, and then it was just Patriots. And then this year I really started watching more again to see the other teams and what they're all about.
Yeah.
Also, the Patriots really bad, so I wasn't really enjoying myself.
Side note is the draft is on ESPN, right?
ESPN and NFL Network.
Oh, it's not on ESPN Plus.
Mm-hmm.
We may have to stream.
Well, we can sign into NFL Network.
On the application?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to download the app so you can sign into it.
Yeah.
And then we can watch it. I mean, obviously we'll see it on here, but I want to watch it.
Yeah. I prefer NFL Network's coverage personally to ESPN.
I feel like that's what I would typically watch it on, but I don't have
that's what I watched it on last year, I think. Rich Eisen,
All right, so I'll do that ahead of time this way here. We're G to G.
Yeah.
We're going to live stream the whole thing.
Nice.
You're going to have a late... I would take that next day off. You're going to have a late one. You're going to have a late one.
I think it's right at the end of April.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should save WrestleMania for the next one.
Yeah, I'm all for it. But that means we're gonna post that one tomorrow because We're into because it's this Saturday.
That's true.
Yeah.
Unless we just do one big long one.
Yeah, we just do that.
Okay.
Kicking it old school.
Kicking it old school. We're doing the long joints.
We could always do our next. Well, yeah, whatever.
Nah, let's run it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's run it.
Let's do it. Let's keep going.
This is WrestleMania 40.
WrestleMania 40.
Wow.
Night 1, to be exact.
You and I have been into the wrestling for a long time.
Yeah.
And at some point over the course of time, they started doing a 2-night event.
Yep.
Isn't the Royal Rumble 2 nights too?
No.
Okay, this is just WrestleMania, guys. Everybody knows that.
New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom is 2 nights. That's been for a long time.
Yeah.
The problem with WrestleMania is that, well, there's a couple things. It started turning into like 7 hours. And then by like the main event, the fans were just like dead because they're there. That's a lot of wrestling.
That is a lot.
Even when I was my biggest into it, we had like the watch parties and stuff.
Yeah.
Even by the end of those, I'm like, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
I'm asleep. A lot of it's just like the spectacle of it. But then they had the COVID, I think it was WrestleMania 37 in the Performance Center with literally no one.
Yeah.
And then I think 38, they were still like in lockish down, and it was in Tampa Bay, and it was still limited.
Yeah.
But there were fans, so I think they split it up into 2 nights to just get more fans in there.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, this is actually pretty sweet. More fans, and those people will pay for anything. Those like super fans.
Yeah.
So they'll pay for the tickets, and then it's like the Super Bowl. It becomes like a party that week.
Yeah.
It's in Philadelphia this year.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is like a lot of independent shows will run that week because they know all the fans are there. So they all have big show, like smaller indie shows, but people show up. If you have Thriller TV, you can watch a lot of that stuff. I think they have like a free trial. So like Ring of Honor will always run a Super Card of Honor there. XWA, there's a whole ton of them. So it becomes like a whole shebang. But I have difficulty watching 2 nights in a row of 5 hours of wrestling.
I know. Yeah. So it starts at 7.
Yeah.
And like, what is the run time here? Is it like 11 o'clock?
There's a possibility it goes past 11 o'clock.
Oof.
Yeah. So you might have to take that day off of work on Sunday.
That's
the only nice thing is that it's Saturday now. Well, night 1 is Saturday. All their pay-per-views or premium live events are on Saturdays.
Yes.
They don't do the Sundays anymore, which is great.
Yeah, because they used to do pay-per-views on Sunday nights.
Yeah.
And it was like, I could barely stay up and watch Raw because I have a bedtime.
Yes, exactly. So it's on. So we're on Saturday, so that's good. But the problem is now that it's on Peacock and it's not on. So before they had to get off by a certain time, like they couldn't because it was pay-per-view. They had to get off the airwaves. So I think when I was watching Royal Rumble, and I'm like, when? Because I barely watch their pay-per-views, but it's Royal Rumble, so I wanted to watch it. I was like, when does this end? It's coming up on 11 o'clock, and it's just starting. And I was exhausted. I was so tired. I'm like, I can't watch this to the end. So I stopped. But I went to like midnight, but he used to not do that.
I'm going to have one early Sunday night because we're watching Mania on Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday, I have to take my father and his wife to the bus station at 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
So
yeah,
Sunday is going to be not much happening.
Oh my goodness gracious! Well, you got night 2. You can just lay back and watch that at night. I don't know if I'll make it all the way to the end of night 2, but I'm more interested. I'm more interested in the night 1 main event.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
Let's run through the list. We're going to make picks on all these matches.
Alrighty. All right. So this is so for those who don't know, WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of the WWE, which is the premier wrestling sports entertainment company in the business. No one does it better. And since they got rid of Vince McMahon, they've been better than ever, in my opinion.
Pretty much.
They've been just killing it with the storylines and stuff. They recently merged with UFC, so they're now TKO.
Yeah.
The problem is they start bringing in like all the advertising that UFC does. Yeah. So they might be putting the Prime bottle in the middle of the ring, which in my opinion makes it disgusting.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It might be there for WrestleMania.
Oh, no.
Yep. Yep. Now, Vince McMahon is a monster, but the one thing he always said that was good was to keep the ring clean. Like, he always wanted a clean ring. He didn't want ads on it. Because, like, AEW will put, like, DraftKings. But if they put it on the side. This only just put it in the middle. Really ugly. But that's the thing is TKO, they get the ad dollars in.
I know. But, I mean, Logan is also on the card.
Yes.
So I could understand. But, yeah, I don't. UFC did the. Now, UFC always has done this. But UFC 200, it was a yellow mat.
That's weird.
The only time they've done this. Awful. Atrocious. So next week's UFC 300, I wonder what they're going to do.
Oh, yeah. And if they put it in the corners, it wouldn't look so bad, but it's right across the middle, and the bottle is there, and the bottle looks weird. It just doesn't look symmetrical.
Are they actually going to do it? Is it confirmed that they're going to do that?
So I was like, is he just saying this because he's a bad heel? He's a bad guy. He's trying to get heat.
Yeah.
But then they release like a press statement saying they're doing it. Like, are they really doing it?
Oh no.
Yeah. But it's like, imagine all the highlights of like people winning world championships, and it's just the freaking prime bottles there.
Oh, that's so bad.
It's gonna look so ugly.
That's so bad. It's like fucking sugar water.
I know. I would never touch that.
Absolutely
stuff.
not.
Oh my god.
No, thank you.
Stick with the NAs. Thank you very much.
I don't want fucking diabetes.
All right. So I'm gonna start. I think. Okay. So I'm looking at this Reddit post, which I think has both night 1 and night 2.
Okay.
And I will start on night 1 because that's one we're watching. But we can go through night 2 as well.
Yeah.
So night 1 has I think it's a 6-pack challenge for the tag team championships. The tag team champions right now are Judgment Day, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest, who has the briefcase.
Yeah, he does.
He has the money in the bet. It's only ever been cashed in WrestleMania, I think, the one time by Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
You were watching that, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people on here. Remember, we don't know who all these people are anymore. So we got those guys. We got the New Day, the Miz, and R-Truth.
This is for the undisputed WWF Tag Team Championships of the world.
They split the Tag Team Championship since Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
And they've been like combined in like the Usos won both.
Yeah.
And it's been like a year and a half now. Just freaking unify the freaking titles.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
So anyway, I don't know who's going to win this one. I could see it staying with the Judgment Day because they've started like teasing the breakup angle with them, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick with them.
I think because of the Money in the Bank aspect, they could lose. I'll just, you know what? Let me go with an old time favorite. I'll go with the New Day for the win.
There you go.
The New Day for the win.
Oh man! Next we have L.A. Knight, formerly known as Eli Drake in TNA Impact and NWA, versus AJ Styles, who was looking really vascular, really swole. How are you? And I think AJ Styles is going to give the rub to LA Knight. Now LA Knight isn't a young kid anymore. He's in his 40s, but he's now hitting like the zenith of his career.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. I would like to see AJ win.
Yeah.
But I know, there's a lot of people that like La Knight. I saw him wrestle. Like,
he doesn't do it for me. He's very he copies a lot of the mannerisms of like The Rock and Stone Cold, like the always moving, always talking.
That's what people like about it. But when I watched, I'll be honest, I probably watched one match. I was like, it's not really. Maybe because there's so much hype behind La Knight. Yeah, I'm going with AJ. Give me AJ Styles, baby.
AJ is always putting people over, so it'd be nice to get some big wins again. Put over Undertaker.
I know he still looks good though. Like when he's performing, he still looks good.
He can make anyone look good. When the Undertaker, they said he was having his last match, he specifically said AJ Styles because he knew he'd make him look good.
Yeah.
Next, we have a story that's been bubbling for a very long time. We have Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. The brothers collide, and it's funny because they were a tag team for a very long time, and then I stopped watching for a long time, and all of a sudden I came back and they had ditched the old skit, whatever. Shtick, thank you.
Yeah.
Of the face paint and the dance and all that fun stuff. And I think Jay lost a lot of weight and got a haircut. Amazing what a haircut will do for a guy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to haircuts.
Yeah. Shout out haircuts. I got them all cut. I'm going Jey Uso because I'm hoping if this story, I don't know if the story's ending here. I could see Jimmy winning by nefarious means, but Jay's the future main eventer.
That would be my guess is Jimmy wins by some sort of interference.
Yeah.
I'll go Jimmy.
Okay. So we're split on all three so far. Next, we have a 3-way match for the United States Championship. We have Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton versus the champion Logan Paul.
They're not letting Logan not have that title.
I agree. I want Logan Paul to lose, but I don't think he will. But I want Randy to win because Randy has never had the United States Championship.
I would like to see Randall.
Yep.
But I don't think it's going to happen. Especially if there's a fucking Prime bottle in the middle of the ring.
I know.
There's no way.
They love giving out those like Grand Slam championships. Like he's won every title in the company. So I'm going to go with Randy.
Maybe they could do that down the line. I feel like at Mania, they still want Logan to have, they're cashing in on Logan being the champion.
I know. And he doesn't wrestle that often, but yeah, you're right. He brings in a lot of viewers. I hate him. I think he sucks.
Yeah.
But freaking kids, for whatever reason or another, they love him.
You know, those darn kids.
Those dumb kids.
Those dumb idiots.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Idiots. Next, we have for the Intercontinental Championship. This one is it's interesting. So it's Gunther.
I love how you say it as Gunther because that's how I was going to say it.
How much would I say?
They say Gunther.
Oh, Gunther. Oh,
but I always say Gunther too.
Yeah, that's how I always say it. Yeah.
Shut up.
I never thought.
Gunther Wheeler. It's from the paper brigade.
Oh my god, shit. That's funny.
You said I should have never said anything about it, but I was like, he's gonna say Gunther because that's how they say it, but he would.
Oh god, his name.
Oh shit!
He had another name before. It was weird because he had a name in NXT.
Wheeler.
Walter. It was Walter.
Yeah. Wait, his name was Walter.
Yeah, it was Walter.
In what, NXT?
Like UK in the UK when he wrestled in the UK.
God, that's fucking.
And then
terrible.
he had it in NXT. He came over, and it was Gunther something, but the name was like the same name as like I'm not even kidding you, like a Nazi person. So everyone's like, why is that his name? So they just dropped the other name, and now he's just Gunther.
Oh, the last name?
Yeah, Gunther. He was Gunther something.
Gunther Hitler.
Yeah.
I don't see what's wrong with this, guys.
Oh my god.
Gunther Hitler.
Oh my god. So he's been Intercontinental Champion forever. He passed the Honky Tonk Man. Speaking of names.
That's a great one. Great throwback.
Honky Tonk Man had the record for the longest reign. He passed it. He's been champion forever. He's beaten everyone. He's beaten Drew McIntyre. He's beaten Kevin Owens. He's beaten, I think he's already beaten Sami Zayn. So now he's wrestling Sami Zayn for the title. And it's interesting because Sami just beat Chad Gable, who's like the new up and coming. He's like not up and coming. He wrestled in the Olympics.
Yeah,
he's
an
Olympian. Yeah. He's like a Kurt Angle-ish kind of guy. He's shorter, but he's really good. Yeah. And people really like him. But Sami Zayn beat him, and people aren't happy, which is funny because everyone wanted Sami Zayn to beat Roman Reigns last year, and now with the shoes on the other foot, I'm going to imagine Gunther wins again, but I don't know why.
I think so too, but I think if they really, realistically, how could Sami win? I think that's going to be the problem.
Sami doesn't need the rub, he doesn't need the title.
No, this is going to be this could be the worst match of the whole thing.
Oh dang!
But I don't see how Sami could win.
Yeah.
But again, if they wanted to give him something, but I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
Gunther Wheeler, baby.
They're gonna have to give I would imagine a young kid is gonna knock him off, like give him the rub, but I just have no idea who it's gonna be.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have the main event, night one. This is gonna be huge. So we have the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins. He's the champion of Raw, essentially.
Yep.
And Cody Rhodes tag teaming, which is funny because when Cody Rhodes came back 2 years ago, they feuded for a very long time. This drives me up the wall. But he's the WWE the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, because he had the Raw title, which was the WWE Championship, which goes back to like the 60s.
Well, here's the thing, because I hear this in the UFC. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
but,
please do.
Who's disputing these? They always say the undisputed. Like, that's just a word that. Sorry, I spit everywhere. It was like the cheese. I saw it go on both sides here. But if you have the belt, it's just like a word to throw in there. The undisputed. Like, who's disputing it?
Well, it's like, so if you have a champion on SmackDown, because they split it into two brands. If you have a champion on SmackDown,
sure,
and you have a champion on Raw,
sure,
you say, I'm the world champion. But the dispute is that, but I'm the world champion because I'm on Raw.
I guess, but they also say this in like other sports where
I don't know why they do that.
There's only like one belt in your weight class.
Is it one of those like when they do like when they get injured and stuff and they merge it? Remember, because sometimes there's two guys. Because sometimes there's an interim. Maybe that's what they mean.
There could be, yeah, it could be because there's an interim,
or they're just throwing shade at like Bellator and stuff. But then I'm not even worth
the
undisputed
shade.
Yeah, I would try to look for it, see if they say it only after like they merge it with the interim.
We'll find out next week, but I'm pretty sure they say it all the time because it's like, but if you win a belt, who's ever disputing it? If you were disputing it, you would have went through a legal process.
Well, that's why this drives me nuts because they didn't say it before, and then so he was the WWE Championship. And the lineage for that title goes back to, like I said, the 60s when the WWE existed. Yeah. And then back like 10 years ago now, they created the Universal Championship.
Yeah. And
so he was Universal Champion. That's how his whole reign started, was which everyone thought was a stupid name, which it is. Yeah. And Brock Lesnar was the WWE Champion.
Right.
And then they wrestled to become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. And they still call him that, even though they created another new championship, which is Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, that was also a championship.
It was, yeah.
The WCW that got brought over, right?
Yeah, the WCW one got retired, and then they brought in the World Heavyweight Championship, the big gold belt. But it was like, technically wasn't the same, but it was like this. It was like a, what do they call it? A spiritual successor to it.
Yeah.
But this one's same thing, spiritual successor. But the thing that drives you nuts is they still call him the undisputed champion when there's literally another champion there. So why do they have 3 world championships?
I don't know, but it just I feel like in any combat sport, boxing, and they say
boxing I get because they're under like 15 belts.
All right, well, that boxing,
it's a whole different story. It's a whole different episode.
All right, well, I'll take that out. But in the UFC, they'll say the undisputed UFC, and it's like, well, yeah, but there's only one. I mean, even if you were an interim, they would say.
Oh, that's
the UFC interim champion. They wouldn't say undisputed.
Right.
But if you were the champion, every time you're the champion, you're undisputed.
Right.
So I feel like it's undisputed is just a fancy word to just say that you're like an elitist.
Yeah, probably. They probably just say it because it's like, oh, it makes Roman Reigns sound even cooler.
Yeah, it's undisputed.
But it's like, you are disputed because there's another world champion.
Can you be an undisputed loser?
I guess if you lose by disqualification because you don't lose the title.
Like Gilbert, was he like the undisputed loser? Nobody disputed it?
Oh, God. He had that losing streak. Oh, jeez.
Gilbert.
Anyway, sorry, I totally took us off track there. So Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, the WWE Universal Champion. With gold. He's a gold belt. They both had gold, I guess. Tag teaming with his cousin, who everybody knows, The Rock.
Is that is he related to Dwayne Johnson, The Rock?
No.
Okay, but there are stipulations in this match.
Yes, there are. Yes. I forgot about that. So if The Rock and Roman Reigns win, the night 2 main event between Cody and Roman Reigns is essentially no holds barred. Bloodline rules.
Right.
Where anything goes. And the problem with the Bloodline story is that it's always just been the same ending over and over again, where the same thing happened at WrestleMania last year.
Yes.
Someone interferes, he gets knocked out, Roman Reigns wins. Yeah.
Right.
But if Cody wins, I forget what happens.
If Cody and Rollins win, the Bloodline is banned from ringside.
Right. Which they'd probably still show up.
My guess off of this whole thing and the stipulation is the bloodline helps The Rock and Roman Reigns to win this match.
Yes.
So then they can show up again.
Yep. And then some shenanigans going to happen at the end of the night.
I do have a prediction. I have a bold prediction for night 2.
Oh, we'll get there. We will get there. My prediction is, and this goes beyond just this match, is that The Rock pins Cody.
Okay.
Because I don't think you want them pinning your world heavyweight, your world heavyweight champion Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins has a night 2 match. So it's like, why pin him against Drew McIntyre, who's not even in this match?
Right.
It's like, why? He might get involved and distract him and stuff, but it's like, why make Rollins lose and look like a baby? If Vince McMahon was still in charge, I could see that happening, but Triple H has a better head on his shoulders, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think The Rock pins Cody.
Yep.
Which that leads to night 2, and we'll get to there in a little bit.
Yeah.
So you think that, we're on the same page. On
that would be my guess, yep.
All right. Then moving over to night 2, which I'm going to try and watch, but I have no promises. Maybe I'll try. I'll probably definitely try to catch the main event if I can, if it's not at freaking 11:30 p.m.
Yeah.
We have a tag team match, it looks like, of Rey Mysterio, who I still remember as Rey Mysterio Jr.
Rey Mysterio Jr.,
yeah. He doesn't go by Jr. anymore.
What the heck?
And Dragon Lee, who I think they finally found like the Rey Mysterio replacement, versus Dom Mysterio, Rey's son, and someone from the LWO. I think Escobar is his name. It's a tag team match.
Santos Escobar.
Okay. And this is where I did watch SmackDown the other night on Friday, and there was little sows of dissent with the Judgment Day, which might continue to lead into this match. So
sure.
I think they'll give Rey the big babyface win.
I would predict the same.
Yeah. Yep.
Rey Mysterio for the win.
Yeah. Then next we have the WWE World Women's Championship. And now if night 1 main event wasn't The Rock, if it wasn't The Rock, this might have main evented night 1.
Yes.
But because of Rock stuff, because obviously The Rock's going to main event.
Yeah.
WWE World Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. I think Becky's not going to wrestle much longer, so I'm going to go with Rhea. Because she has like a kid and stuff, and she said her like contract's still up in the air, so we'll see.
Maybe they give her the layup at the end, though. Becky Lynch. I'll give it. Although Rhea Ripley's had the belt for a long time.
Yeah, right? I think she won it last WrestleMania. I was watching that, yeah.
She beat
Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
She won the Royal Rumble and then beat Charlotte, yeah.
Becky Lynch. I'm going to give it to Becky Lynch.
All right. Seth Rollins and her are married. They have a kid. The next, we have a 6-woman tag match. Naomi, Bianca, and Jade Cargill, who I totally forgot is there now. She used to be in AEW. My guess is she's in this match because there's a multi-person match because she's still a little raw. So they try to hide her deficiencies. Versus Damage Control, which is I didn't know this. Asuka. Yep, Asuka.
Dakota Kai,
and I don't even know who this other one is.
Kairi Sane.
Oh, okay. Yep. Cool.
I'm gonna go with the Bianca, Naomi, and Jade combination.
Jade, they're gonna make her. I think they're gonna try and make her look really strong. So yeah, I can see her winning. Cool. The next we have the World Heavyweight Championship, which is apparently disputed. Which is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. I'm pretty sure CM Punk was supposed to be in this match, but he got hurt at the Royal Rumble, so it's Drew McIntyre, and I think Drew is gonna win this one.
You think so?
I do.
You think? Oh, is this like leading into new storylines for you?
I think so. Yeah, I think Seth has had it for a while. He just got injured. Thankfully, he's healthy now, but he's been carrying the shows on his back. Give him a break. And also not that they owe Drew McIntyre, but he was the champion during the pandemic era. He never was champion in front of crowds, which sucks. Yeah. So I wanted them to give him a little something for that.
I could see it. I'll say Seth, but I could see it going to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Yep. So because Seth is also, kayfabe it. You get Seth is wrestling the night before. He's gonna be a little tired. We're kayfabe only on this show, so keeping it kayfabe.
It's true.
Yeah,
it is true. I mean, but then you also have, could there be a cash in?
That's a good point.
I don't know.
That's a very good point. I could see that.
Maybe Seth wins and then he gets cashed in on.
Yeah, or even Drew wins and he gets cashed in on.
Twist of fate. Yeah. That would be worse if it was like Drew and then he got cashed in. Because remember that time Kane won the title and then the next night on Raw he lost it?
Oh, yes.
It was like a first blood match. He won it.
Oh my god.
And then the very next night, he lost it.
I remember being confused as a kid, like first blood match. I'm like, he's wearing a mask. How do you even know
he's completely covered up? And I think at the time when they did that, he didn't even have. He had both sleeves.
Yeah, you're right.
How's he gonna bleed? How am I gonna know if he's bleeding?
That's hilarious. And then next we have Bailey, who I love. She's a good guy again. Versus she's so the way they do it now is she's the WWE Women's Champion. So the Women's World Heavyweight Championship is Rhea Ripley. The WWE Women's Champion is not Dakota Sky. What's her name?
Asuka.
No. Asuka is in the tag match.
Oh, the one that just beat fucking the Streak.
What?
Are you talking about the one who's Bailey's fighting?
Yeah.
Io Sky?
Io Sky. Should have known that. Yep. I think Bailey's going to win. Apparently, this has been a very long-running storyline. Bailey won the Royal Rumble, and I think she's going to pull it out.
But that was some of the storyline, right? Io Sky just beat like Goldberg's streak or something. I saw something.
Oh, did she?
I saw something like that. I'll go with Bailey anyway.
Nice. I like
Bailey is no longer with
Damage Control. No,
Yeah.
they split up. They broke up.
I think that's what. Yeah, Bailey's going to win this one.
I like that. And then the night 2 main event, which could go depending on the rules. We'll see what happens with night 1. The here it is, undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Even though there's another championship on the card, is the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes for the second year in a row. Do
you want to hear my bold prediction?
I would love to hear your bold prediction. I really hope it's not what I think it might be.
My bold prediction.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Wait, what?
Which one is it? Joe's pick. Joe's money pick. Is going to be Cody Rhodes breaks the streak, wins the belt.
Oh, good.
Because The Rock, Dwayne Johnson turns on Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And potentially sets up maybe a little backlash. Maybe it leads into a little SummerSlam match with Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That is my
I got to find out
pick.
what The Rock's filming schedule is like, because that'll help us determine what he's doing.
Sure. What shitty movie is he going to put out?
So my thing is, and I'm similar to that in that I think The Rock is going to pin Cody Rhodes night 1.
Yes.
And then I think night 2, Cody's going to win. Not by The Rock getting involved.
Okay.
But The Rock will be involved in some capacity.
Sure.
And then the next night on either Raw or on SmackDown, The Rock's going to be like, yo, I pinned him. Why couldn't you pin him?
I like that. Okay, so
we're both going the same direction.
Either way, there's going to be contention with the bloodline and the family.
Because it was supposed to be The Rock Roman Reigns. It was supposed to be this main event.
Yeah.
And then people were like, no, Cody's been trying to finish his story for 2 years, because the story is his father, Dustin Rhodes. That's not right. Dusty Rhodes. Dustin is his brother.
Yeah.
He won the NWA championship. He won, I think, AWA championship. He never won the WWE or F championship. That's the one title he never won. His brother never won it. Goldust. Cody wants to be the one to win it in his family, because Cody's won the NWA championship.
Yeah.
He's won the Ring of Honor. Didn't win AEW, but he's never won the WWF. Is
there a chance that Dustin shows up to help Cody? Because he also put out something where he said, fuck The Rock. So
he's under contract with AEW.
Right.
But the TNA Women's Champion was in the Royal Rumble, but they're smaller, so they're willing to do that stuff. I could see him being in the crowd.
There was also the thing when the DX did the reunion. I thought there was something with, because Billy Gunn
was there. Was he there?
He was at one of them because Triple H took every chance to take shots at without saying it. He basically said, well, one of us is with a lesser organization, something like that. But they let him do it. Yeah. So that's why I'm wondering.
So I could maybe
if Dustin does it.
Would WWF want another AEW wrestler involved or whatever? So maybe,
I don't know.
It depends on what the trade off is. Because a couple years ago, Christian or Ric Flair wanted to be. They were going to induct Ric Flair into the TNA Hall of Fame, but he was under contract with WWE.
Right.
So they sent him, but then Christian had to do something for TNA, and that was the that's how they did it. I don't know. So maybe. I mean, AEW is definitely. I mean, if I were AEW, I'd be like all about it. Like hell yeah, you send them. Let people know about us.
Yeah, why not?
But they're definitely number 2, and
it's usually like WWE is like the one that's not willing to do that shit.
Right,
It's always the number 2. Like Bellator will always highlight when they were around. I mean, they're still around sort of, but they got bought out. But if Connor was there or somebody, they would show who it was in the crowd. If there was like a champion from Bellator that was in the crowd, UFC would never show him.
Yep. Yeah.
When you're number 1, you don't
exactly
you don't highlight your competition.
Yeah. And like Triple H is more open to it than Vince. So when Sting just had his last match at Revolution for AEW, the next night on Raw, they made mention of it. They didn't say AEW, they didn't say Revolution. They just said Sting had his last match, like have a good retirement. I don't think Vince would have ever allowed that. But Triple H at least allowed the mention. So I could see it.
I mean, there's got to be there's not enough there's enough talent to go around, really.
Yeah.
Like,
oh God. Yeah,
if it was just one organization, it's just not
yeah.
feasible.
It's a rising tide lifts all ships. You know, there's another business. There's another promotion out there paying guys to wrestle, which is awesome.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, even for the WWE, it's a good thing to have that.
Oh, yeah, because they've been better since the AEW came in.
Right.
Competition always helps.
Right.
So I'm all for it. So, yeah, I think it'll be a fun event. It looks like a good card shaping up. Maybe I'll start watching after wrestle. Like, I'll continue watching. I haven't really watched as much. AEW, I was watching them because they're just easier to follow because I can't watch Raw for 3 hours. I can't. And then SmackDown and then NXT is too much. But then when AEW started, it was really just Wednesdays. That was it. But now it's Wednesdays. They have a show on Fridays. They have a show on Saturday. I'm like, I can't keep up. So I'm gonna have to just pick one show and stick with it.
I think when Raw goes to Netflix starting January, I will probably pick it up a little bit. Yeah. Oh, it would be interesting. Like, can you go back and watch, or is it only there for a live? That's going to be interesting.
That's a good question. Are they going to keep it on Peacock, the historical stuff? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway, those are our WrestleMania picks. There's some
lock them in.
Some NFL updates. Yeah. Very limited, but we're in April.
Yep.
Tomorrow starts the new season.
Yeah, we're doing our best trying to maintain this momentum going. Because it's oh God, it's like a month and a half, 2 months just to get to the draft, and it's awful. So doing our best.
We are doing our best, and then it's after the draft we'll have a lot to talk about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then once we get into training camp, like June might be a little tough.
Yeah, rookie training camps. And then,
there's just not a lot happening. But you know what? We're throwing in some.
We'll have the Olympics.
We'll have the Olympics, which I obviously can't wait for. We'll have some wrestling stuff, UFC 300 next week, so hopefully we can talk about that when we come back. And like, comment, share, subscribe. The email is in the link.
Yep.
I mean, it's in the description.
Yep.
Send us an email.
Yep.
We're going to have a new setup as far as our live. I said that last week. Amazon.
Yep.
It's only as good as they are.
I know.
So, but we'll get it going.
It might not be next week because I might not be here. I might be here. Haven't decided yet. We'll find out.
We'll keep you guys on your toes. Anyway, we'll see you next time.
Bye.